absolutely insane chapter this week. Way more exciting than the last one. We're getting like so many reveals that are just insane, like so crazy. Let's get into it. Dragon and Vegapunk were in Ohara after the world government attack. They both knew Dr. Clover. So it's like, all right, we're just starting off with a bang, and it doesn't stop there. Like every spoiler we talk about this is going to be just as crazy, if not even crazier. But first of all, we knew that Dragon and Vegapunk knew each other because at the end of chapter 1064, they were talking. You know, Vegapunk saying that like, hey, I feel like I'm going to die soon. And Dragon saying like, you know, that's a bad joke. Don't joke about that stuff. So it's like, yeah, we knew that they had correspondence at least, but now we're getting even further history on them. And apparently they went to Ohara after the world government attack, and that they both knew Dr. Clover. So Dr. Clover was like the guy in Ohara. Like he knew more than most people in the world, for sure. He was actually really close to the truth about the Void Century and the secrets of history and everything. And the Gorosei knew that, and they like sent CP0 there to straight up kill him because of it. And they even, you know, sent a buster call to Ohara and just like nuke that place. And it goes into what it's saying here about them going after the world government attack. So that means that Dragon and Vegapunk went to Ohara after the buster call, which actually kind of makes sense because as the buster call was happening, we saw like the Ohara scholars like throwing all of their books, or a majority of them, as many as they could get, out of like the tree and like into the water and everything, because they were like, you know, don't let them get burned and whatnot. So I'm guessing that they were going there after the fire had calmed down, possibly. So I guess they just came through the remains of it, and we'll go more into that. After the attack on Ohara, Dragon decided that he had to form an army. So yeah, right there we're getting the origin of the Revolutionary Army. It was because of what the world government did to Ohara. Like they just straight up murdered tons of innocent people simply for just being scholars and trying to figure out the truth about history and the Void Century and everything. You know, deciphering the poneglyphs and whatnot. And you know, the Gorosei / Emu doesn't want that to happen because, you know, the Void Century is the reason why the world is the way that it is. But at the time, they did kind of have a good excuse. They were like, hey, we can't let you figure out this stuff because if you dig deep into it, you'll learn how to resurrect the ancient weapons, and that's like a danger to the world. But it's like, shut up, we know what's going on. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Established Titles. So guys, this is by far one of the most interesting and like cool and fun sponsors I've ever done, because you're like literally purchasing land and getting a title as well. Because purchasing a title pack gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They also plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, 1 tree planted and trees for the future to support global reforestation efforts. You can like also officially change your name to Lord or Lady, and you can get it on your credit card, plane tickets. You can even like change it on your dating profile too. It's a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. And it makes a great last minute gift. They even have couple packs that come with adjoining plots of land. But also the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will pretty much be next to my plot. So guys, check out the link in the description because Established Titles is also running a Black Friday sale. Plus, if you use code BIGZ, you get an additional 10% off. So go to establishedtitles.com/BIGZ to get your gift now and support the channel. Thanks guys. A group of giants took all the books from Ohara to Elbaf. The group was led by a person with bandages all over his body. So we'll put a pin in the person in bandages, but first it's like a group of giants took all the books from Ohara to Elbaf. This is what I was talking about, how they were throwing all of the books into the water as like it was burning. So I assume, and as far as we know, this isn't confirmed yet, I'm just taking a guess here, that Dragon and Vegapunk must have led this group of giants possibly. And they came across Ohara after it had burned and everything from the buster call, and they saw all the books in the water and they were like, you know, we can salvage these. And they grabbed them, I don't know, dried them off or whatever, and then took them to Elbaf. So now tons and tons of super important information is still out there, and it's been on Elbaf this whole time. Now, as for this person with bandages all over his body, the leader of this group, we don't have to wait to find out who this is. Like originally I thought we were gonna have to, but apparently it's being revealed in this chapter that it's friggin' Saul, another character that we saw in that Ohara flashback. You know, Robin had run into him when he was like washed up on shore, and it turns out that he was a former vice admiral of the Navy, and he had actually met Robin's mom, and he was supposed to be included in the 5 vice admirals to do the buster call in Ohara, but after talking to Robin's mom, he was like, no, you guys are crazy. You're murdering innocent people here. I also think that we should learn the truth of the voice entry and all that stuff. And as the Buster Call was going down, he was trying to protect Robin, but it turns out that Kuzan was also there at the same time. And Kuzan, you know, very conflicted, was like, hey, you know, you're probably right about all of this stuff, and justice can alter and whatnot, but I'm just following orders right now. I gotta do what I'm told. And he straight up freezes Saul. And of course, he also lets Robin go. But that's the last time that we saw Saul, was when he was completely frozen by Kuzan. So I guess this means that Kuzan did the right thing, like completely. Like, he didn't kill Saul, and he also let Robin live. As for him having bandages over him, I mean, it could just be from the fire on Ohara, like that, like maybe after he thawed out, you know, the fires were still burning him, or it was the damage that he took beforehand, or this is like ice burns. But it also makes me think that like maybe this is the man marked by flames that Kid was talking about, because if anybody would know about the poneglyphs, especially the road ones, it would be Saul at this point, right? But that would conflict with the ice burns. So the verdict is still out on the man marked by flames, but it could be him, and it could also be another reason for Kid to go to Elbaf. And that brings me to the next point here, is that I'm pretty sure this is setting up Elbaf as the next arc, like for sure, right? A lot of us thought that the Straw Hats were going to go to Elbaf like directly after Wano, like it was going to be the next arc. Obviously we came to Egghead first, but now it seems like Elbaf is for sure going to be the next arc here, because, you know, we just set up that all of the books are there, Saul is there. So that's two big things, two big reasons for them to go there. And I'm sure Vegapunk is going to eventually tell them to. So now Robin can meet up with Saul again. They can get all of the secret ancient history there. And also it's kind of heavily implied that Joy Boy was a giant. So that's probably going to be revealed there as well. You know, we've got the Atom Tree, we've got Prince Loki, we got the possibility of it being Usopp's arc. And also Dragon might be there too. Like, that's when Luffy finally meets up with Dragon possibly. Like, Elbaf has so many possible hype moments already set up for it. So I fully expect it to be the next arc after this. At the end of the chapter, Luffy meets the real Vegapunk. True Vegapunk says, "Son of Dragon, I knew you would come." We see what the real Vegapunk looks like. So it's like, whoa, this is really a wild chapter. Luffy finally meeting the real Vegapunk, and obviously Vegapunk knows that he is the Son of Dragon, so he's going to just drop an exposition bomb on Luffy at this point, I assume. Maybe not in this chapter, but in the next one. Go more into Dragon's backstory possibly, and small chance that he might talk about Luffy's mom. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, and you shouldn't either. From the way that Oda talks about it, I don't think we may ever know about Luffy's mom. It's not really that important. I'd rather more so get info on Dragon's backstory, if anything, you know? And at this point in time, there are no leaked panels that I know of, so I haven't been able to see Vegapunk's face yet, but over the next 2 days, I'm sure we'll get a glimpse of it, and I'm not expecting anything crazy. I think he's gonna more so look like a traditional old scientist dude. We already kind of got the swerve with Lilith, so I don't think we're gonna get it again. But yeah, like I said, insane chapter, and there's more that happens in this. This is kind of just a quick overview of it, so please subscribe if you haven't already, because as soon as the full summary comes out, I'm gonna make a video on it. I'm sure there's gonna be tons more stuff to go into at that point. But let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments, guys. And if you liked the video, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.